Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another upload, another stream. Listen, lateness is greatness. Apologies. I was just about to go to bed. I was just about to go and pack for the trip. If you don't know, BIG6IX are going to New York tomorrow. You know, we're having different methodology on how to get over the jet lag. I've decided I'm not actually going to sleep. Grizz told me I'm an idiot and he's going to sleep. So we'll see we'll see how that works out, Grizz, in the vlog. But, you know, we got breaking news. And I thought, you know what? It's about time that I pay attention because I've just been talking about my own club. I've just been watching my own club's transfer dealings. But it appears other fan bases are watching me and our dealings. So I just thought I would just chime in on what's going on. You know, no harm, no foul. So let's talk. You know, there's a report that's gone out tonight that Arsenal are spending. They're spending like crazy. I mean, this is no judgment, no judgment. They're spending like crazy. 30. They want to spend 30 million on Timber. David Ornstein with the dagger, the exclusive. Fabrizio sleeping at the wheel. Not with us right now. Probably beefing someone at the moment. This guy's beefing everybody on Twitter. But listen. Ornstein comes with the dagger. Arsenal are going after Timber. Now, this doesn't usually concern me, okay? Big up everybody in the chat. This doesn't concern me. It's none of my business. However, what is my business is FFP. That's right. Regulations and rules. That's what I follow. I demand that you follow them too, okay? This is a place of class, this channel. We don't like to see anyone bending the rules. We don't like to see anybody, you know, doing things they shouldn't. No backhanders. Now, it appears to me that you're spending quite a significant amount of money. Now, we're only in the 19th of June, and we're adding this all together, and the maths is not mathing. You know, £100 million on Declan Rice. That's what's about to happen. It's personal terms agreed. You guys told us it's basically done. You guys have had that deal wrapped up for ages. We're just waiting for it to be announced. It's done, finished. Declan Rice going to Arsenal, done. Kai Havertz, we're trying to outprice you. We're trying to put him out of your reach. But you just won't stop badgering us. You just won't stop knocking on the door. How's Kai? Shy Kai. He's not going to be shy anymore because he's going to be playing for the mighty Arsenal under Mikel Arteta. 70 million we're trying to demand. And you guys are willing to pay it. You know why? Because you're just filthy rich. You guys are absolutely stinking rich. I tell you that for free. Because I ain't got no money. I tell you that. So 70 million. And then this one, Timber, 40 million. Now, it's only the 19th of July. By my calculations, that's 240 million you're going to spend. And that's on top of nearly 200 million spent last season. That's 450 million in 1 year. That's crazy. That's insane. And it's not even over yet because it's the 19th of June. I'm sure you've got more stuff cooking on the pan. This is mad. Guys, what do you think about this in the chat? This is insane. The amount of money Arsenal are spending. And they're not even selling. Oh, wait, no, they are selling. Parties going to Saudi, but that's fine. That's not matter. Only you guys can sell to Saudi. Nobody else. No, nobody else. Nobody else. It's just as long as you guys do that, it's fine. But if we do it with players that make sense, not Gallagher's and, you know, Burriers and not inflated market value fee, good solid fees for our players. It's a problem. We're trying to sell a couple of old players to fall in line with the Saudi league as they do. You know, they sign older players, top players as well at that. And we're getting some market value, some just below market value, but we're doing crazy business, it seems. Absolutely scandalous shit you're seeing. Ziyech is going for 60 million, Koulibaly 70, Mendy 100. It's just mad. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, this is quite a problem, I think, Arsenal. You need to chill a little bit. This is a lot of money you're splashing in a very short space of time. I don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? You man are meant to be humble, but you're doing a lot right now, and it's scaring me personally. I'm quite worried because, you know me, I finished 12th. You guys finished second. So there's already a massive gap between Chelsea and Arsenal as it is. We are struggling to compete with you as it is. And you are the biggest club in London. So again, it's not easy for small fry like me. You know, we finished 12th, mid-table team. You know, we're just trying to get along, you know, our merry way. You know, we didn't qualify for Europe. We struggling out here in these streets. You know what I mean? Struggling. You guys out here second, up there with the other rich club in Man City, you know, dominating the whole year. Didn't let anybody get any points off you until the end because you felt sorry for us. You dominated the whole year. You won all the games up until January, February. We 12th, losing at home to Southampton. And we're now we're getting bullied by Saudi clubs. In fact, I'm going to switch the narrative. There's long threads on Twitter all about it. Long threads on Twitter. Took days to do these threads. 8 a.m. these threads are going out. But we're getting bullied by Saudi clubs. They took our best player in Kante for free. They're taking our goalkeeper who won the Champions League with us. They're taking our Wizard of London, Ziyech, who's wondrous left foot. They're taking one of our centre-backs that we signed last summer. And we can't compete because they're offering wages that we can't offer. And then we have you lot on the other side of London splashing the cash like this. It's unbelievable. It really is. It really is. Somebody ought to do something about this, guys. Somebody ought to do something about this because I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of this shit. Every single time we try to level up, we were almost in administration last season. We had to go for a whole ownership change. We couldn't even tap our Oyster card on the TFL. We were having to jump the barriers. We couldn't even buy Haribo's at the corner shop. Our Barclays card was frozen. We had to let staff go. You guys, meantime, are building a dynasty under Super Mikel Arteta. It's just fucking... It's ridiculous. There's nobody else to see where I'm coming from here. It's ridiculous. You got Man United getting taken over by Saudi. Newcastle, Saudi, richest club in the world. And somebody on Twitter, they found 5% Saudi in Clear Lake Capital. Oh, dear. Somebody, or quite a few of them now, have dug into our finances, guys. 12th place. We got 5% Saudi investment in Clear Lake Capital. I don't even know I don't know what to say. 5%. Big company like Clear Lake involved in so many different things. Billionaires being billionaires, investing in each other. Rich staying rich. 5%. Damn. We're owned by Saudi, apparently. That wasn't the narrative when Todd Bowie came in. The clueless, silly American doesn't know what he's doing. Stupid man. Now we're owned by Saudi? Oh, how'd that happen? They weren't going to let us be owned by Saudi. Don't you remember the UK government refused to sell us to Saudi? Because they were in the running. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. 5%. Meanwhile, you guys are plastering Fly Emirates across your shirt, you rich bastards. Honestly. Shirt sleeve sponsors and whatnot. Our shirt sleeve sponsor left us. Whalefin. Cryptocurrency crashed. We don't even have a shirt. We don't even have a fucking sponsor. We're broke. And you guys, you want to bully us more? It's just ridiculous. We're about to be sponsored by steak.com. I'm not talking about the food. I'm talking about a casino. You can't trust money with them. They're going to probably lose it all. We're getting a 1-year steak.com sponsorship like Everton in 12th. And you guys got plastered on your shirts, Fly Emirates. Your stadium's called Emirates Stadium. You're selling off Party for over an inflated market value of 1 year left in his contract. And we are the ones that you want to pressure. Why don't you look at Man City? Man City are about to sell Mahrez. Silva's got Saudi offers. There'll probably be a couple more. Oh, I don't want to mention City though, because Pep gave you Zinchenko and gave you. Fuck me, I can't even talk. I'm so distraught, honestly. It's been a tough day, honestly. It's not easy. Very distressed right now. Jesus, and honestly. You basically balance Man City's FF. You balance their books. Do we need to investigate you? Because it sounds like it. You guys, it sounds like we need to investigate you. I'm not going to lie. You're balancing Man City's books. Mikel Arteta used to work there. That's a connection I'm seeing. Something's going on, I think. What's going on? I think, we need to have a little chat, I think, Arsenal. Unbelievable. Balancing their books, taking their squad players. Really? You expect me to believe that? Taking Jesus and Zinchenko, who doesn't even start? Honestly, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in right now. I'm quite troubled, actually, when you think about how much Arsenal are spending right now. It's quite disturbing. Meanwhile, we can't even flog Kepa. Bastard's going to be the first choice next season. We'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, let's go through the comments because this is an emergency meeting, as they call it. It's fine. I'm sure that Chelsea will sign at least one player soon. I know it's hard, but don't let us ruin your summer like you did. Bro, I'm trying to get by. Trying to get by. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to get by. You ain't slick, man. Put total in euros to make it seem more than it actually is. We use pounds. Yeah, guilty as charged. I did have it as pounds, but then somebody in the comments said 200 million is nothing these days. So I said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm putting 280. You're lucky I didn't go in a different currency. I would have slapped that up to 300. Let's see what else is being said. Peak shamelessness. I don't think so. I'm just concerned. A mid-table club is concerned on the brink of administration last season. Can I not have concerns? Can I not have concerns about the way the game is going? Really? Is that too much to ask? That I raise a couple of red flags? I think I have every right to do that, you know, as one of the small fry, you know. Because this is the biggest team in London we're talking about in Arsenal, you know. So I think it's only right that, you know, we have a little check on what's going on. We own FFP. I'm not obsessed. Brother, I've seen documentaries on Twitter. And I didn't even know you could do that. But apparently if you purchase Elon Musk's verified tick little scheme, I was going to say scam. I meant scheme. Then you get to upload documentaries, movies, actually, and threads that just go on forever, and tweets that literally are just Harry Potter books and thesauruses, the size of the thesauruses that you guys are putting out. Theses. This is insane. I've seen so much talk about Chelsea today. I don't know why. I really don't know what's going on. Just selling a couple of players. You know, it's almost like as if Saudi are just buying Chelsea players, you'd think. They're not buying anybody else. No. They're not buying players. They're not buying Neves, Brozovic, they're looking at Mahrez, Ronaldo, Benzema. It's not like they're buying players and they got money and this is just really luck, really, that we happen to have players that are, you know, of interest to Saudi. Like I said, not selling Holdings and Lokongas and Nketiahs for 60 million. We're selling, you know, Champions League level players, at least you could say. Big names. You know, makes sense really when you think about it, but you know, there must be something going on because they got 5%. So it's not like as if American owners do business with MLS clubs. There must be a conspiracy. Have you ever sold a player to MLS before with an American owner? How'd that go down? Sounds wild, really, when you think about it, because it's probably investment, probably some sort of investment little overlap there. That doesn't get reported on, does it? God forbid you use your contacts as a businessman to do business. Fuck me, that's insane. That's like, oh, you couldn't do that. That's mad. You can't use your contacts to do business. That's outrageous. Nobody else does that, by the way. There's no other club owners using their contacts in different industries or in different companies or different other rich people to do business. No, there's no way. Absolutely no way that's going on. Everybody's just fending for themselves. What's going on in the comments? My head is not gone, but I'm having a moment. I think, and shout out to Hugh Izzy, because what a content creator. But this is my Hugh Izzy moment, this stream. It's late and I'm feeling fraudulent. I'm feeling fraudulent. Okay, it's late. Lateness is greatness. This is going to be the mood of the late streams, because there might be a lot of them going to New York. If you didn't know, BIG6IX, and my timing is going to be all over the place on this channel for the next week. So if I pop up at 3 a.m. on a ramble, I'm on a fraudulent thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing the character. That's all I'm doing. Just playing the character tonight, and then I'll be back to normal tomorrow in the normal video. Okay, I'm just saying. The fraud father, damn right, late night fraudulence. So I didn't get permission to call this late night fraudulence with Arsenal all over the place, because that would have been hilarious. But you know, I'll ask if that's possible to borrow just one time. Obviously I'll CC him. But listen, just crazy what's going on. Absolute, it's a disgrace. Talk about Timber. Well, listen, when it comes to Timber, you know, outside of the song, the guy, I can see what you guys are trying to do. I'm not gonna lie, I can see what you guys are trying to do. I don't really get the Kai Havertz thing. I've explained that, you know, in my own perspective. But again, Arteta could come with a new system, a new formation, a whole new shebang next season. No one can predict what a manager is thinking, planning, going into the next season. We can only go off their past work, what they've done in the previous campaign, and try and come to conclusions. And I'm struggling, I'm not going to lie, unless he's going to be a squad player. And if you're spending 70 million on a squad player, then you guys are richer than I thought, because that's Man City stuff right there. That's 50 million a pop for fullbacks. You know, if Havertz is coming in as Odegaard's depth, that is just astronomically incredible. And talk about Saka, who had a great performance, I heard, for England. Not that I watched, because they played North Macedonia and I just went out for fresh air. But, you know, I heard it was a great performance. And yeah, if he's depth for him as well, I mean, this is incredible. This is what the richest clubs in the world can do. I am not in that position. We are on our last legs. But yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar. I just know that you guys are. Listen, I know that you guys are obviously trying to get maybe your right side of defense sorted, because Holding has not been his brilliant best at times. And to be honest, I don't really feel like he had a bad time when he stepped in. He just kind of maybe disturbed the system somewhat. Maybe the trust as a passing option is not quite there when Ramsdale's making big errors and, you know, clearing it into opposition players and whatnot. So maybe. But I don't want to get on Holding, because he didn't cost a penny, I don't think, from Bolton. But listen, Timber, it's a big signing. You know, if you get it done, that Ornstein dagger just came out of nowhere. That massive exclusive, I don't know where it came from. And obviously then Rice and then Havertz. So listen, this is some serious investment that's going on. It's absolutely insane. But let's go through it. Don Robbie P thought, don't you Chelsea boy. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what that means, but yeah. The Don has already admitted that, listen, if Saudi come in for him, he's gone. All right. We said it on DR Sports earlier this morning. If Saudi are interested, he's gone out there, and DR Sports, I don't know who's going to run it. So, and I agree. I'm out there as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm not afraid to admit that, listen, if Saudi money comes in, I'm gone. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why this judgment's come in recently for Ruben Neves, for example, right? See a lot of people kind of scrutinizing Ruben Neves for going to Saudi. He's about to change his life, as Chunks would say. He's about to change his life. Do you know what I mean? Like he's literally about to set up some sort of generational wealth. Now, of course, he's already making a truckload of money, but you know, this is an opportunity to do something mad, really. You know, this is the time to make Flamini wealth. If you know Flamini, former Arsenal player, very rich individual. This is an opportunity to go on to another level of rich, the richy rich. I don't really know how you can really scrutinize it. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of people, when they say that listen, there's always gonna be that couple of percent that wouldn't take it, but most people would. You know, if that type of money came in and you're doing the same job, even if it's for 2-3 years and then you come back. I'm not saying I love it, because, you know, I'd love to see him, you know, up close in the Premier League, you know, maybe at an Aston Villa if Tielemans didn't go there. But listen, this is his own decision. I'm not going to scrutinize it, because I probably would have done the same thing. I wouldn't be a hypocrite about it now. Arsenal making moves in the window. Hold that. Come on, you Gunners, bro. You're making more than moves. You're making waves. You guys are making waves. You're splashing all over the place, splashing that cash. And I am afraid. All right. Jokes aside, what do you think of Timber? To Arsenal, personally, I think it's a brilliant move. I think it's an interesting one, because, like I said, I don't know if does he come in as an automatic starter, right? You've got Ben White at right back, you've got Saliba at centre back, and you've obviously got Gabriel, who takes care of the left-hand side. In terms of actually adding proper competition into those areas, and if you do get an injury, you've got quality depth and you've got quality competition. This is exactly what Arsenal really need to be doing. If you're talking about player quality upgrade from Holding to Timber, it's ridiculous. So it is impressive that you guys are doing that, because you know you've got Champions League next season, you've got more competitions, more difficult games. Obviously, you played in Europe this season, but it won't be against, you know, I don't even know who you played this season. Microsoft Excel, all these other teams that you come up against. This is now serious now. So listen, we know what happened when Saliba left. It was a little bit of a drop-off. So listen, for 30 to 50 million as well, if it comes into 40 million, that's actually a good price for a centre-back of his potential. So it's not like as if it's overinflated or anything. I don't know if his contract's running out or what the situation is as to why you can get him at that price. I would have expected Ajax to charge more. You look at Ajax, they sold Antony for 100 million, right? That is what you talk about with Ajax when they want money for someone. They pull a fast one. Absolute fleece, Man United. They dusted them down in Catford, in Croydon. Yeah. They absolutely dusted them down, taken everything out of their pockets there. Wallet, phone, keys, everything, bank cards. They dusted them down for Antony. You're getting a decent price. You're getting a decent price. Oh, sorry, Zurich. Apologies. Yeah, Flamini. If you didn't know, Flamini. If you didn't know, Flamini is rich. This is probably one of the richest footballers or ex-footballers ever. This guy is rich. I don't know what he does, but I just know he's rich. I don't know what he's doing, but he's rich as hell. He's rich as anything. I'm probably putting you onto new information that you wasn't aware of. But some people that do know, you'll know exactly why he's rich and all that. I just know he's rich. The subsurface information is that this guy is rich. We're not playing in Europe, and that is how I started this stream. We, bless our hearts, bless our souls, we're just screwed, really, when you think about it. So I don't understand what's all this talk today about us, But yeah, I think, listen, overall on the Saudi thing, to get a bit serious, because we've had about 24 minutes of me just taking the piss. But to be serious on the Saudi situation, I don't really feel sorry. And I don't like this. Listen, I get it, right? Everybody wants to protect their own competitions, their own standard of football, have you will. Premier League, we don't want to see prime Bernardo Silva going to Saudi, Ruben Neves, who's been waiting for a transfer for 3 years. Nobody's decided to come in with serious bids. And then as soon as he's going to Saudi, suddenly everybody wants Ruben Neves or they want him to stay. No one cared about him before when he was looking for moves. For me personally, Premier League, we are the richest until Saudi, until China. We were the ones taking players from other leagues, I'm sure League 1, I'm sure fans from, the Italian league. I'm sure if you want to take it down even more notches, Belgium, South American leagues, I'm sure they're cussing about us in the Premier League same way. Same way we're cussing about Saudi league. How can you take this player? How can you take this player? I thought Chelsea were going to be banned, transfer banned, breaking FFP restrictions. Now they're selling players. God darn it. You mean the 44 players in their squad actually have some value? Shit. Damn. I thought they were all just going to go for free. I didn't realize they were going to be sold. But they have money. And we are now no longer the kings, in England. In England, we're not the rich ones anymore. We could get taken apart, really. But again, we did it to others. So how much can we really complain? Football is a global game. It's our game, but it's the global game, really. And it goes in cycles. If the Saudi League do end up having most of the best players, we had a good run. It used to be Serie A that had the best league in the world. Maldini's to your Nestas, all the way to your Kakas, Shevchenko's, Inzaghi's, Gattuso's, Ronaldinho's, Zidane, all of these top players. Serie A was the best league. Then it kind of went to La Liga. Messi, Ronaldo, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Piqué, Puyol, Ramos. You look at a Wild 11 team, and it was just La Liga. You might get one English player in there. Wayne Rooney had to pull up trees. He might make it one year. Ronaldo, when he was at Man United, might make it. But most of that 11 is Marcelo, it's Dani Alves. We can't even get a sniff. And now you could say we got the best league. We got the best talents, got the best managers, most money. But cycles. And you kind of have to embrace cycles. You have to embrace cycles a little bit. It happens. That's life. When you take a look at, this is why when Barcelona, Real Madrid fans are, Premier League spending, I'm like, I'm not going to lie. You did spend over 100 million on Griezmann. You did spend over 100 million on Dembele. You did spend on 100 million on Coutinho. You did spend 100 million on Hazard and Bale and Ronaldo and all these players you brought in. I don't really want to hear your shit. I'm not going to lie. Toughen up. Go make some money and come back. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really trying to hear it. But same way, I'm not trying to hear it there. I'm not really trying to hear it from Premier League fans or myself to be complaining about Saudi. I'm not going to lie. That's just how it goes. Hold that. We have to hold that. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. And the only way we can respond is just by making the quality of the football as high as possible, and pray to God that people still are entertained by the level of competition that we provide. FFP investigation on Arsenal. I think really, let's go through some of the news, right? Because there's a lot of reports going on at the moment, and it seems, or it appears, that multiple clubs are quite on our case at the moment. Us being Chelsea. So we're gonna look at it. But breaking, Matt Law. Is it Matt Law? No, it's from the Telegraph. I think it's from Tom Morgs or something. Breaking, European rivals of Chelsea. Now, first of all, we're not in Europe. Okay, so we're not European rivals anymore. We're not in Europe. So I don't know what's going on. We're harmless. Not even in Europe. Imagine West Ham won the Conference League. We didn't even qualify for that. We finished 12th, and you're still worried about us, really? We mean no harm. We wouldn't hurt a fly. We're probably going to self-implode very soon and be transfer banned just on our own accord. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to investigate us. You know how many transfer bans we've had? We will be punished. Don't worry. When have we ever got away with anything? Please, somebody tell me, when have Chelsea, whether it's the UK government sanctioning us, whether it's transfer bans for Gael Kakuta, when have Chelsea, of all clubs, ever gotten away with anything? Forget Barcelona's economic levers last year, where they pulled up every single Emperor's New School lever you could possibly tug at and take every single player from our transfer shortlist, even though they had no money, in massive debt, and had to call their stadium the Spotify Arena. Or Manchester City, who have got a lot of charges right now, probably get brushed under the carpet though. When do we ever get away with anything? You ever thought to yourself? Never. It doesn't happen. We will be punished if we've done something wrong. I promise you. They don't like us. Chelsea and Wolves are calling for, rivals of Chelsea and Wolves are calling for fair market investigations into Saudi Arabia's drastic haul of big money signings. One top club says teams are using the Saudi Pro League as a get out of FFP jail card. Where's this monopoly now? Chelsea sources claim interest in their players is purely transactional and down to the club's popularity in the Middle East. Again, I mentioned it earlier, even though I didn't really, put my thoughts across in the most complete way. But as the stream went on, I thought I was more coherent at the end. Just some self-critique on my part. But I said it before, it's a Muslim culture that they're going into, and we have quite a few Muslim players. It's not like as if we're selling, Conor Gallagher out there and, we're forcing him to go to Saudi Arabia, which he probably wouldn't want to do. He'd probably want to stay in the Premier League at a young age and try and compete, make a name for himself, etc., and stay in the best league in the world and try and continue to make England squads. It's not like as if we're getting him out there. We're not even selling Kepa and Cucurella out there right now. It's literally Koulibaly, Ziyech, and Mendy. It makes sense. All players coming towards their early 30s, if they're not already in their early 30s, some of them are. They've already kind of done what they've done in Europe, and we want to sell them. They want to go. Nothing crazy has happened yet. And the fees are very, very, very humble. We're talking 20 million euros for some of them. It's nothing drastic. It's not going to change anything, The club denies that FIP has any existing financial interest in the club. Again, in Clear Lake Capital, I can't be asked to go through it right now because honestly, it will take me a long time. But there's a lot going on at Clear Lake Capital. Chelsea is a smidge, the smallest smidge you'll ever see in Clear Lake Capital. If PIF are dealing with Clear Lake Capital, the 5%, there's a lot bigger business going on than Chelsea Football Club. I can assure you. They're involved with Clear Lake Capital for many, many, many reasons, more than you can believe. That has nothing to do with Chelsea. Despite reports that Clear Lake, which owns about 60% of Chelsea, has a prior minority investment from PIF. Listen, it's nothing to stop any of your club's owners with any company or whatever they're involved in, their other, money laundering schemes, because all the rich people are literally doing the same thing, which is bypassing, tax at some point and making a truckload of money off of a lot of people. In most cases, there's nothing to stop any of your ownerships from getting 5%, 10% Saudi investment in their own separate companies that don't involve your clubs. And then this conspiracy theory continues. And like I said, with the American owners and the American MLS clubs and the American, companies, there's probably a lot of hands in the jars. There's probably a lot of links that you can make if you care and you care to look. But I don't care, so that's why I don't look. Let's see. It's all legit, not overinflated. I'm not deflecting. I'm not deflecting, really. Let's see what's being said in the comments. Big up everybody in the building. It's an absolute pleasure. We're going to do an hour, so we're halfway through. You have to admit the FIFA Koulibaly is overinflated. I think, listen, obviously the wages we're getting off the books is fantastic. I make no mistake about it. We're getting a lot of wages off the books. Man United would probably love to be able to do similar. Take a look at De Gea's wages, take a look at Sancho's wages, take a look at, Martial's wages. We're talking about $750,000 already per week. So yes, we are slashing the wages. And you know what? Maybe we would not have been able to sell some of these players for the wages that are on, because European market is basically, gone kaput. There's no money out there. In Italy, they just want loan deals, so it's very difficult to do deals. But we're not the only club that are getting rid of players. We're not the only club in history to get rid of a player to Chinese league or Saudi league or, MLS, who's on big money, no interest from anyone else, Ronaldo, and suddenly get out of jail free card. What a coincidence. That can happen. That has happened to multiple teams that needed these players gone off their books. Manchester United didn't want Ronaldo anymore. Now, of course, he went on Piers Morgan and got himself sacked anyway, but you get my point. It's not the first time a club has had a player on high wages, nobody's interested, and they get they get a coincidence card. I'll call it a coincidence card. Saudi right now in this current moment in time just happen to be shopping like maniacs, and we just happen to have a lot of players that we need to sell. If you wanna overthink it, you can, but I wouldn't, because it's hot as well. It's really hot at the moment, so you're just gonna cause yourself stress. It's like 30 degrees in the UK with no air conditioning. You don't need to stress yourself out over these things. I promise you. Your clubs are most likely going to benefit very soon. Thomas Partey being one of them. Juju Man, Timber to Arsenal. What's your thoughts? Listen, if you get it done for that fee, looking like it's going to do very well in terms of that fee. I think that's a good fee, first of all, and you're going to get a massive upgrade on what you have. So that's good competition for places. Now, I don't want to overjudge him because he has only just played in the Dutch league. And I'm not watching the Dutch league week in, week out. When I've seen him in the Champions League, particularly the World Cup as well, I thought he was impressive at the World Cup. So I don't want to over egg it, but listen, it's going to be a big step up from the Dutch league up to Premier League, but I'm excited to see what he can do. Very good on the ball. Shiver me timbers, exactly. So yeah, I think it's a good signing, especially for the price. You're not overpaying, that's for sure. You can see talent is there. It's going to be, I'm sure, a couple of learning curves here and there throughout the season. Everybody makes mistakes. Same with Saliba. He's had a couple of little errors here and there, but most of the season, flawless. Pretty impressive. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Let me quickly see as well. What height is Timber? Because a lot of critics, they just say aerially maybe a concern. Now I don't know, because I know Timber can play right back and he can play centre back, right? So you could have a situation where he's your Ben White, where he plays. I don't know if you what you guys think about it. Arsenal fans, you know better than me your system, what you want to see. But could he play at right back instead of Ben White? Could Ben White come into centre back to deputise for Saliba? Will Timber be the backup to Saliba at centre back? What way are you going to go about this? If you switch to a 3 at times and you invert a fullback, which you have in Zinchenko, then of course he can play right side centre back. That's where he played at the World Cup. So you've got options here. Semi-versatile player, 5'10", I'm seeing. So aerially, if I'm maybe going to dig into his statistics a little bit here, just to add a little bit of context to this, but aerially could be a little bit of a problem up against some opposition. But I'll be taking a look at his aerial dual success rate in just a moment. But yeah, listen, this guy, if you want to go off if you want to go on a F brief, is nothing but green. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking nice. But again, he plays for the best team in Holland, in a ball dominant team. You know, they're gonna have majority of the ball. They are head and shoulders above almost everyone. So unless, you know, there's a little bit of a title fight every now and then, but yeah, it's tough to judge because he is in the best team and he is obviously already a talent. So like I said, I don't want to overdo it without having watched him week in, week out. But from the little things I've seen here and there in a couple of European games, and obviously in Champions League, he's looked good. Ajax actually finishing third this year, way off the pace. Feyenoord winning the league and PSV finishing in second. Ajax won it the year before, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. Yeah, and then PSV. So most of the time they dominate, but actually this year they were pretty pants. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they finished third. My correction, they finished third, but most of the time they win. But yeah, like I said, I'm not watching Dutch football week in, week out, so I don't want to over egg it. All right, cool. So that's that taken care of. I will be watching some comps. You know what I'm saying? I'll be keeping a close eye on what's going on because I have to keep an eye on you lot. You man are moving a bit mad. But let's go back to the news. So obviously, I haven't really seen any updates on Declan Rice. I think Fabrizio basically said that you know, Manchester City are closing in on Mateo Kovacic unless they make a late gasp, a late dash for Declan Rice, who's on the list for Manchester City. Then we expect Man City to get cover for around about, I think, 25 to 30 million, hopefully 35. I feel like that's not a lot for cover, personally. He's only got a year left. But for the quality of the player when he's at his best, 25 million is an insult, in my opinion. This is a player that, you know, starts in that Croatia lineup alongside Modric. You know, he's when he plays at his premium, he's a top player. So 25 million is a little bit of an insult, but he's got 1 year left. He wants to leave. There's only so much we can do, but hopefully you can get minimum 30. And then obviously you'd expect Declan Rice then to go to Arsenal. It'll be interesting to see what the final fee is there. Ziyech has agreed personal terms as well with Al Nassr. So yeah, personal terms are sorted. Deal to be struck soon. Mendy's agreed personal terms as well. So that's still to be completed. Koulibaly, I believe, is also on the cusp of potentially agreeing personal terms. Aubameyang is the one that is having a negotiation, 6 million offer, but his wages are still to be decided. So that one's a little bit more in the air. And, you know, this would have really pissed off everybody, but it was meant to be a £100 million package I was reading today to involve Lukaku plus these other 4 players to go to Saudi, 100 million for the 5 of them. I would have been dancing. Yeah. If that had happened, I would have been skipping. I would have been dancing. I would have been doing a madness. If that 100 million for 5 of them, Lord, it would have been beautiful. But obviously Lukaku insists that he wants to go to Inter Milan. I'd love it if we could just leave him in the reserves for a season, teach him a lesson. But, you know, that's probably not good business. Now, we're expected to receive 25.5 million, according to Jacob Steinberg. That's where someone is saying that it's a little bit inflated. I think Chelsea paid 34 million for him last summer from Napoli. Now 25.5. You're saying it's a bit overinflated. I think 25 million for Koulibaly is still a good price. I mean, the wages, I agree, 290k he's on. Wages is crazy, but let's not forget, Koulibaly is a very good defender. This is the captain of Senegal. This is a top player, a African Cup of Nations winner, Champions League level player for Napoli. You know, let's not disrespect it. 25 million is nothing these days. Let's not make it sound like as if it's a lot of money. 25 million. Anthony Gordon went for 40 million. I know he's young and market value and, you know, resell and all this, but this guy, Anthony Gordon for 45 million, sorry. Koulibaly 25 is not a lot, especially when his contract doesn't expire until 2026, I think it is, because he signed obviously last summer, or 2025 maybe, but I think he may have signed a 3 or 4 year deal. So he's not going into his last year. He's still got a couple of years left. So it's not like as if Ziyech, where his contract's running down. Actually, Ziyech is on 2025 as well. So like I said, these fees, it's not, I don't think it's really that insane. I don't think it's insane to think that someone can pay 25.5 million for Koulibaly, and especially when you know he's going to go into that league and be one of the best players. And you know, like I said, for me personally, what 20 million is that what the expected fee was? So what, 5 million over? It's not a lot. So yeah, and then yeah, Manchester City 2 to 3 million apart on price there. So hopefully that will get done. If I see that get done for 21 million, which is what the initial approach was, then Lord, that is scandalous. So yeah, crazy. Koulibaly was one of the best centre backs in the world. Comes to Chelsea, absolutely crap. Yeah, awful season for him. But like I said, I've not looked at this season and thought, oh, Koulibaly, like this is a terrible player. I've not come away from this season thinking Cucurella is a terrible player. I still think these are good players. I just think, unfortunately for them, they've come into a mess, which is us. You know, we've had a lot of upheaval, you know, signed too many players at once. We've tried to do too many things at once. And it's created, you know, an unstable environment where they haven't flourished. No surprise. They're good players. Now, Cucurella was overpriced, let's be honest. You know, that's why Man City walked out of the race, but he's still a good player. So I haven't walked out of this season thinking terrible, terrible, terrible. I've just walked away thinking, yeah, you haven't been great, and we also need to get rid of you just because we've got too many players, not because I necessarily don't like you or I don't rate you. Now, do I think that, listen, Levi Colwill is a better investment than Koulibaly? Yes. Do I think Ian Maatson and Lewis Hall are better investments than Cucurella? Yes, because they don't cost as much, their wages are lower, and their potentials maybe potentially higher. But that doesn't mean I don't think they're good players. I think they're good players that can go into a settled environment in another team and do very, very well and come back to their level, which is a high level. So, you know, if Cucurella's potential is producing that performance we saw against Dortmund in the Champions League, that's a brilliant player. You know, that's a very, very good player at a minimum. So let's see. Let's see what's being said here. He's not tailor-made to the intensity of the league. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. He is an aging centre back. He is potentially on a slight downward trajectory. Silva obviously comes in as a generational centre back and just walks it, but you know, not everybody's Silva, so it's not easy. Koulibaly was too old when he moved. People wanted Koulibaly for years and years and years. He's a really good on the ball. You know, both feet can give you a pass. Man City wanted him for years, reportedly. You know, Premier League clubs were always looking at him, but he never moved. And then when he does move, Napoli go and win the league. You know, they freshen things up, and unfortunately for him, you know, they go ahead and win it. And maybe it is too late to make a move to a Premier League team, or maybe too late to move to a Premier League team that wants to play a high line, which is what we want to do. When Wesley Fofana was coming in after injury, the high line just gets higher. We suddenly start squeezing up the pitch. That's not something that maybe you want to do with a Koulibaly. But he was very rash. He was very rash. A lot of silly, needless yellow cards. Kind of surprising, because obviously when you think of an older centre-back, you think of composure, experience, not really diving in, having your wits about you, understanding your physical limitations and planning ahead for all that. But we didn't get that. We got almost, it felt like he was a young centre-back that was, you know, testing the waters. Is Saeed watching? Sorry, he was watching. Maybe he's gone to bed now. Like I said, so in the title, I'm not clickbaiting you, right? We're having a discussion in the Big Six group chat as to side story. You know, what are the tactics going into this tomorrow or today? And I've decided I'm not sleeping. Okay, I've decided I'm not sleeping because it's an 8-hour flight and we're leaving in the morning. So if I sleep now for 6-7 hours, and I get to the airport and I'm on a plane for 8 hours, going back in time to land at midday, I'm going to be jet lagged. So I've decided to not sleep tonight. I'm going to be pre-recording loads of content, and that will be released for you. And then I sleep on the plane. I wake up midday in America and we go. That's my plan. Grizz's plan is right now he's snoozing away. I don't know if the rest of them are going with my tactics or they're going with Grizz's tactics. We'll see. You'll see in the vlogs who won that argument, all right? Because if you see any sleepyheads in the vlogs when they go up on the Big Six channel, just know that some man didn't follow the tactical masterclass. So yeah, hopefully people are understanding this. This ain't no joke. This this jet lag, bro. I'm telling you, because yeah, it would almost like you're having a night here, and then you're having a whole extra 8 hours, and then you're getting there midday, and then you have to go all the way to the end of the day. It's long. Like, that's just too much time being awake. I ain't on that. He was here 2 minutes ago. All right, let's get back to the news, and let's get back to football. Incoming. So that was the outgoing news, Chelsea-wise, and I'm kind of rounding it up. I'm going to do a lot of these when I'm in New York. I might stream. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not going to stream for a week. You know, I'm just looking at the time difference when it's midnight. When it's obviously, let's see what the time is in New York right now. Let's take a look at what we're working with. Right now in New York, it's 7:20. Now, most of the day, during the day, I'm going to be busy. So, you know, I'll try and do a live if I can. It might be videos, but I do what I can. But I'm going to do my very best to put out daily content still. I'm going to be trying to do vlogs as well, getting them edited. It's just going to be a little bit mad. But, you know, we'll try and react to everything, at least, you know, on the day it happens, and I'll give my thoughts later than maybe everybody else, but at least I'll give my thoughts anyway. Nicholas Jackson and Caicedo share the same group of agents alongside a new signing, obviously Perez, the 18-year-old as well, that we signed, who had a great under-20 World Cup. So, yeah, all agents linked there, so that's fine. I mean, that deal is basically done for Jackson, I'm assuming, at this point. So now actually, the big story I want to talk about is Kepa. Kepa is reportedly going to be our number one, and I need to talk about this because I'm not happy. All right, now I understand because the goalkeeping market isn't, you know, it's not incredible. Onana and, you know, Magnan is they don't want to come, or they're outpriced, or we can't get them. So of course now we have to start looking at the second tier options, which is Martinez, which is Sanchez, which is, you know, other options which I don't even want to name, that shouldn't even be on the list. But at the end of the day, world-class goalkeepers are few and far between. Raya as well. Costa is maybe too expensive over at Porto. So the goalkeeper market's a bit of an issue, and Man United are going to see that as well, most likely, when they go into the goalkeeper market potentially. So I would love us to get a new goalkeeper, but I want us to get the right goalkeeper, and it has to be a top goalkeeper. If you're not getting a top goalkeeper, then there's no point, because what you're doing now is you're putting money on the table. You're potentially giving yourself an issue later down the line where you have to go and replace. Now, this is my solution, okay? I'm just going to give solutions. I'm not going to do too much complaining. You know my thoughts on Kepa. He's got physical limitations. He's terrible at cross-collecting and commanding the box. Ball playing, he's decent, good on some days, decent on other days. But I don't think it's great enough to be, you know, kind of relying upon that as an attribute, like a Ter Stegen or someone. And shot stopping, listen, you know, when those long shots come into the top corners, he's nowhere to be found. Just can't even reach. So for me, Kepa is not good enough to be number one. If Pochettino wants to keep him as number one and find out the hard way, then go ahead. Do you know what I mean? It's all part of learning at the end of the day. I'm not going to be angry about any decision with, you know, unless it's Lukaku. If it's not Lukaku, then I might disagree, and I'm gonna probably do a video at the end of the window, and I'll outline everything I disagree with, you know, with Poch. Even though I'm the champion of Poch, and I wanted Poch, and I rate Poch, and I had to kind of convince a lot of people that Poch was good enough to come here. I'm not going to agree with everything Poch does. I didn't agree with everything Tuchel did, even though I love Tuchel. You know, he wanted to play Gallagher in the two in midfield and let Gilmore go. I didn't like that. So, you know, he wanted to sign Aubameyang. I didn't want Aubameyang. So I'm not going to agree with everything. However, listen, if that's the way he wants to go down, then, you know, we have to go down that way. And especially when the market isn't screaming out a top goalkeeper, you know, at least we're not missing out on someone serious. You know, if Onana is outpriced at 70, 80 million or whatever they want at Inter Milan, then there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not saying that we should be spending that kind of money on him. I don't know the Valencia goalkeeper that well. I haven't been watching Valencia. I know they've been going through a bit of a relegation scrap. People tell me his distribution is a little bit dodgy, but he's a good shot stopper. You kind of need to have both. I'm not going to lie. You need to have the distribution, and you need to have the shot stopping, and you need to be commanding from the crosses as well. that's why Onana was really starting to look like a really good option, because distribution-wise, the guy is just, he's ready to play those passes, cross collection and commanding. He's really tall, really imposing, good commanding leadership attributes there. And obviously shot stopping. You know, every goalkeeper needs to be good at shot stopping. If you're not, then what are you even doing? So he was looking like a good option. Now, like I said, he's been outpriced. I don't know about the Valencia goalkeeper. I'm not going to speak too much. The only thing I'll say about the Valencia goalkeeper is that his age isn't really my preference. I would prefer, and I'm going to give you my solution, is Navas. I would just go and get Navas, Keylor Navas from Nottingham Forest. He's experienced. He's played at the top level. He's a good option to come in for Kepa if Kepa's having a clanger. If Kepa's playing great, then Kepa can play. It doesn't really make a difference to me at this point, because we still need to sort ourselves out long term. And Navas doesn't kind of, you know, overlap Solina too much, you know, because, you know, he's a lot younger. Obviously, he's developing in the US. Now, you're saying that you know, he's not the tallest. Listen, he's a backup option. He's not really sorry, PSG obviously on loan, wasn't he? He's a backup option. This is not a perfect goalkeeper maybe solution, but if Kepa's our first choice, I don't want us to splash on another goalkeeper who's young, and then now we need potentially another goalkeeper because the young goalkeeper we just got isn't the top goalkeeper, and then we just get into a mess. So you may as well, for me, just go and get someone that's pretty cheap, giving you a bit of experience, nice little blend. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be issues defending set pieces most likely, but we're going to have to just handle that from centre-back point of view. And it's just a stopgap until next summer. Hopefully the market improves and you go from there. Navas is a very good goalkeeper. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's a very, very good goalkeeper. So, you know, may as well, I think, just kind of go down that route. I don't want to spend a lot of money on the position now because we're not solving the position. You're saying why can't we use our scouting to find a goalkeeper? Yeah, listen, I'm only saying Navas because that's all I know. I don't know, you know. First of all, scouting is tough enough as it is for players when you're not a scout and you're just a football fan. But you try to give your opinions and form your judgments and, you know, go off the past of what you've seen and try to, you know, put 2 and 2 together and see what you can get. Scouting a goalkeeper, this is really tough because there's a lot of little intricacies in goalkeeping that really, they go under the radar, and it's a very specific position. It's a special position. It's tailored. And it's a completely different ball game entirely. So, yeah, for me, I don't know. If there's goalkeepers out there that, you know, that you feel are, you know, kind of going under the radar and that you feel we can go and get and is a solution. Because if you've got Kepa as your first choice, this goalkeeper that you're bringing in, they can't be on too much money for a start because Kepa's still on that 180 or whatever he's on. So then we don't want to have 2 goalkeepers on high wages that we can't shift. They got to be a little bit of maybe an unearthed talent, maybe like a Mendy 2.0 if you're going down that route, cheap, you know, about to, you know, burst onto the scene. But then at the same time, you do have a goalkeeper that's, you know, playing for the under 20s of the US. Very, very promising. We did have to, you know, kind of fight Real Madrid off and you know, kind of get him ahead of them when he was in the MLS. So we've already got a promising goalkeeper with, you know, huge potential that probably just needs a 2-year loan, similar to what Courtois had at Atletico Madrid. And then hopefully by that point, when he comes back, you know, at what, 22 or however old he'll be, he's ready to go, or 20 or 21. You know, we've seen young goalkeepers, De Gea when he came to Man United, Courtois, you know, we've seen a couple of young goalkeepers perform at a very high level. Most of the time they peak late 20s, early 30s, but, you know, there's a couple of goalkeepers that are showing their quality from a young age. Hopefully this guy is also like that. And then he stays for the next decade, goalkeeper situation sorted. So that I don't want to completely block him off because, you know, we're not getting a top goalkeeper, so we may as well not block him off and leave our options open. Bono from Sevilla. When I've seen Bono, I've been impressed. I've been watching Europa League. I've been watching Sevilla, and Bono's been pulling off some great saves. I don't know how much he would cost, but again, that's a good kind of alternative. It's a good shout. Not perfect, but listen, 32 years old. Sorry, is he 32 years old? I think he is 32 years old. Obviously, you know, was at the World Cup, I believe, as well. Not gonna, you know, cost hopefully an arm and a leg. Wages wise, not too high. Got experience. You know, won something last year as well. Put in some impressive performances. Made some big saves. Can come in and at least we're not solely relying on Kepa, because again, we know that that's a risk. So yeah, like I said, that's the kind of market I'm looking at now for goalkeepers, is your Bonos and your Navases and goalkeepers like that, because we're not getting the top ones. So that's how I see it. No, I don't want Pickford. No, absolutely not. Do not want Pickford. Do not want Pickford. I'm very, 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 very sure about that. Do not want Pickford. Yeah, he's worth 80 million. Yeah, I don't know. Again, AC Milan, I'm not really sure what's going on that side, but it seems like that's an unrealistic, goalkeeper to try and get at the moment. So, yeah, Bono is going Saudi. Is he? Is he? Where did you see that? I didn't know that. That's a great move for him and for Saudi again. Getting Bono, getting Mendy, getting these type of players, good level players to bring into the league. I must say, they're making it very tantalizing. They're making it very interesting. Making it interesting, man, with these players that they're bringing in. If they can keep going at this rate, 2025, when the Club World Cup rocks around, the new format, when there's more teams in it, they might win it. They might win that competition. That'll be a big achievement, because listen, in Europe, we look at that competition, we think, okay, I actually really appreciate when we won it, because we lost to Corinthians under Rafa Benitez, and I was not happy. But then we come and beat Palmeiras in the competition a couple of years ago. We won the Club World Cup. We got the gold badge. I was very happy with that. It's not hitting the same as a Champions League win, but for me, I was still very, very happy to win it. But for me, yeah, we saw the passion from those Palmeiras fans when we played them. They're not playing around, man. They really rate that competition highly. It's an opportunity for them to prove themselves against European teams. So if one of the Saudi teams can go in there and win it, it would be mad. It would be mad for them. So let's see. Yeah, that was. Do you know what? It's one of those competitions that when you win it, you're like, okay, that's brilliant, and you enjoy it. You're world champions, gold, everything. But if you lose, oh, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. It's actually gut wrenching, because you build up this expectation. You know that you're the strongest team going in there. You know that the pressure's on. Man City are going to know it when they go into this year's, and you do expect to win it. So when you don't, and you see another team as world champion, you traveled all that way, usually to Japan or wherever. It's held in countries tend to be quite far, and it's in the middle of the Premier League season, so it's quite grueling, and it is quite it takes you out your schedule, and it's quite a trek. You know what I mean? It's not easy. So you're gonna go over there. You better leave with something, because coming back as an L, with an L on your record, is not really the one. I'm not gonna lie. And the gold badge is slaps. Lloris, no, I wouldn't get Lloris. No, I'm trying to avoid goalkeepers that have been in poor form. I don't want anybody coming in on low confidence that's on a really bad downward trajectory. So yeah, for me personally, I'm not looking at Lloris's or anyone for that position. Neuer would be. I haven't been watching Bayern week in, week out, but Neuer, I'm guessing Neuer would be a steal for the role I'm talking about. But again, I don't think he'll leave Bayern Munich. Hasn't he been injured for most of the season as well? Because Summer's been playing, hasn't he? So has Neuer been injured? I'm pretty sure he's been out. Yeah, Summer is a good option again. Yeah, 100%. I think he was starting quite a few games for Bayern at the back end of that season. I think Neuer was out. But if he is available for a move, I think that would be a really strong move. These are the type of names I'm talking about. Your Summers, your Bonos, your Navases. These are all really, really good suggestions. To be honest, they're really good suggestions. Oh yeah, he got an injury when he was skiing. I forgot all about that. Yes. That's mad. Nkunku announcement today. Is that a prediction? Croatia goalkeeper. He had a great World Cup. I don't watch him outside of that. I've only seen him at the World Cup. He was unbelievable at the World Cup. So if he plays anything like that for his club side, then again, it's not a bad shout. He had a really, really good World Cup. He was brilliant. So yeah. All right, cool. We're gonna come to a close soon, because I gotta finish packing. I gotta do something to kind of prep content and film a few things content wise, just so I have something to release. I think tomorrow morning, take a bit of pressure off before we vlog at the airport. Let's see. But it's tough recording a pre-recorded video, which is why you haven't seen many pre-recorded and then edited videos, because I pre-record it, I get it edited. Me and my editor, we could do a great back and forth there as a team. But by the time I get it back, I don't know if there's something that's going to happen. Obviously, for previews and for videos during the season, it's a lot easier. But to do it now, when there's breaking news every 5 seconds, my video might be outdated half an hour after I record it. So, it's not as easy to do the edit ones. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's too much stuff going on, and Chelsea are too busy, man. Other clubs, it must be a bit easier because you man just move normal. We have news every day. Like it's just mad. There's always something going on. But let's see. So, and Madueke came out with some quotes today as well. I'll actually finish up on that. Really good quotes. He said on the Fifth Stand app, he said, the project here was something I was aware of and was something I thought was good. Chelsea has never really been a project club, just a winning club. But nowadays you can't win without a plan. Spot on, especially if we're talking about the league. Cups, you can always flog a cup any time. But if you're talking about league success, you do need to plan now. Gone are the days when big clubs just used to dominate all the time. It's different. You need to strategize. And I feel like that's what the owners and the staff and the technical staff are doing. Next season for me is about becoming one of the top players in my position in the league, continuing to win with goals and assists and helping my teammates. That's my win. Chelsea definitely feels like home. Really, really like Madueke. Really, really like Madueke. Early doors, breath of fresh air into the team, takes players on, daring, doesn't stop going up against players 1v1. And he's a really good dribbler and ball carrier. He just needs to finish off that final pass at times, or pass in general. The shot can obviously be improved. There's refining of his game, but the raw fundamentals are definitely there. So, and obviously stay clear of injuries, which is what a lot of our wingers have struggled to do over the years. But I really like Madueke. So yeah, great stuff from him. Top attitude, really good knowledge and insight as well. He's absolutely spot on with everything he said there. He obviously knows what he's talking about. Yeah. Oh God, it's gonna be mad. It's gonna be absolutely mad. Let's go through some final comments before we wrap up. Big up everybody in the comments. What you lot doing in NYC? So let me just explain to you, because you are going to get vlogs from me. I'm going to try and do daily. Now, you know me, I ain't a vlogger. I'm going to put that out there now. I don't vlog when I was going to games, not this season just gone, but the season before. I was going to a couple of games here and there, and I did vlog 1 or 2, but I didn't enjoy vlogging. I prefer to just watch the game. If I'm watching it at home or I'm watching it at the stadium, I don't really like vlogging. So, but I'm not going to a game now. I'm going to New York, so I'm going to try and vlog. So I'm going to plan to vlog. And we're going on Fox News. We're going to studio there. We're going to be doing quite a few things, getting followed around New York by Fox, which is kind of crazy, which is going to be mad. Going to all the touristy destinations there as well. BIG6IX kind of meets New York, going to Brooklyn, going to Manhattan, going to Central Park, going everywhere. So hopefully the schedule will be up soon for you guys, so you can see it on the BIG6IX socials as well. And we're just doing a bunch of stuff, going to different stadiums. Obviously, there's different sports that we can look at: baseball, basketball, these things. So it's just going to be a great trip, pool table. Bruh, it's just, you guys aren't even ready, man. The content is going to be brilliant. I'm going to just be doing behind the scenes vlog, myself. It's just little bits and pieces, but the actual content that's coming out, the proper vlogs on BIG6IX channel, you need to subscribe, because that's going to be fully edited like a madness, and it's going to be on another level. Mine is like a little behind the scenes, kind of like, that kind of thing. But if you want the grand finale, that's where you need to be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Never been to the US before, so it's my first time. So I'm very much looking forward to going. And yeah, I hope my jet lag plan is spot on, to be honest, because I have absolutely no idea. Now, Fab News. Oh, Fox News. I thought you said Fab. So yeah, no, Times Square, everything. Yeah. So I'm buzzing. Can't wait. The basketball ended, yeah, but I think we're gonna try and get a tour of the stadium or something, kind of that kind of vibe. And then obviously, if there's a couple of other sports going, maybe go to a game in a different sport. But yeah, see what we can get done. So yeah, right, guys, listen, I'm gonna go. It's good, a little bit of late content come to you there. From tomorrow onwards, or today onwards, Tuesday, I'm gonna be obviously traveling and all over the place. So content wise, if there's signings being made or sales, I try to do roundups and, you know, give reactions, but it's not going to be immediately after it's happened, because I ain't going to be available. You know what I mean? It's going to be all over the shop, time difference and everything. So, but I will be up. I'll keep up with what's going on. You're going to get vlogs and you're going to get news, and you might even get more shameless like this, because more shameless streams, because the way that we've been getting doxed and the way we've been getting tracked and monitored this last 24, 48 hours, I'm going to be monitoring and tracking and doxing everybody else in a minute, everybody else's clubs. If you keep watching us, it's mind your business. Yeah. Just mind your business and let us work. We got work to do. We got sales to make. So yeah, All You Can Eat Chelsea, Battle of North, all these shows will be back next week. Obviously, doing it this week is not really possible. But yeah, they'll all be back next week. And then as soon as I'm back, then I am going to be, you know, on this news thing like a madness, like I'm going to be on it like a car bonnet. So yeah, until then, big up your damn selves. FFP, investigation for Arsenal, coming soon. In a bit, people. Peace.